Jason is a two-time Olympian, a 2008 Olympic silver medalist in the men's team saber, and also the founder of BetterFencer.com. Please, again, a round of applause for Jason.
How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for coming out tonight for an exciting night of finals of men's and women's foil. We've had an incredible group, over 300 athletes from 50 countries vying to get down to the 4 women's and men's semifinals that you're going to see tonight. We have some riveting matches for you ahead, so I hope you're excited. Can we get a round of applause for our semifinalists? But before we get started, I'd like to thank Absolute Fencing Gear for sponsoring this event and being USA Fencing's official tournament equipment supplier and uniform supplier.
Welcome to the Anaheim Grand Prix. We have an exciting night ahead of us. Sitting with me in the commentary box is Jeff Buchantz. We've been here all day watching some exciting fencing, and we've talked about the dominance of 2 of these superstars up on the stage right now, Deriglazova of Russia and Alice Volpi of Italy. What are we going to expect tonight, Jeff?
Well, ordinarily, I would say Deриглазова would be a prohibitive favorite in her first bout against countrymate Коробеи. However, Коробеи is hot today. She beat number 3, Lee Kiefer of the United States. She beat number 13 and former world champion Elisa Di Francesca of Italy. So this could be a very, very tough bout for Deриглазова.
How about the lineup of Jeon Hee-suk from Korea, who's the silver medalist at the Asian Zonals, against Alice Volpi, who's the current world champion?
Deриglazova and Volpi are clearly number 1 and number 2 in the world. Volpi's the defending world champion. I would say she is a prohibitive favorite in her semifinal match, and look to see her in the gold medal bout tonight.
As you see, the fencers are being introduced now. That's Larissa Koробeynikova. She'll be fencing her teammate, Ina Deриglazova. They've met about 9 times in the last few years, and I would say it's definitely in Deriglazova's favor. And, Deriglazova's been fencing amazingly. We watched her today execute.
She makes very few mistakes. She forces her opponents into mistakes. And sometimes it's very difficult to fence a countrymate because you know each other so well. But again, one thing Koробeynikova has going on her side tonight, she's been hot all day. She's on a roll.
So they're introducing now Jeon Hee-suk from Korea, and she's 34. And I say that just because I'm 38 and she's one of my contemporaries. I've seen her fence, and she's just, like every Korean, hard working on this piste, moving her feet all over. We haven't had a chance to watch her fence today. She is a silver medalist from Asian Zonals. But tell me a little bit about Alice Volpi and how the current world champion, and how she fences and how she might approach the bout with Jeon.
Volpi comes from Italy. There's a culture of success there in men's and women's foil fencing. She's really one of the tops in the world, and I look for her to control that bout with her distance and her timing.
Right, so now we're introducing the referees. The referees for the semifinals. Jeff, I'll leave you to the names.
Well, in the first bout between Deриglazova and Koробeynikova will be Kelly Kaler of the United States, who's one of the favorites to go to Tokyo next year. And in the second semifinal, it'll be Pascal Maget of France, one of the best foil referees in the world.
We talked a little bit about your history being a referee and what it's like. So what is it like for a referee when they're faced with these 2 top-level fencers and a crowd behind them?
It could be a little bit nerve-wracking. You know that 1 or 2 mistakes can really shake you. But when you've done it so often and you're in the zone, you see everything in slow motion. Now, these referees are also assisted by the fact that we have video replay now. The fencers are allowed 2 challenges in the 15-touch bout. If they get one of their challenges where the referee upholds their challenge, they maintain that challenge. And that's certainly a nice safety net for the referees. It's a comfort zone for the refs, comfort zone for the fencers as well.
It's always nice to get a perspective from a referee, because I'm sure it's a difficult job. If you're joining us on the Olympic Channel or new to fencing and watching this for the first time, you're in for a treat. This Deриglazova is a very classical type of fencer, easy to watch. She's fencing one of her teammates, Koробeynikova. They're fencing foil. There are 3 types of weapons in Olympic fencing, and you're watching one of them, and that's this foil. And the target area, if you see that lame or silver metallic vest, that is the target area, and you'll see a red or green light depending on which side they're on. Deriglazova green, Koробei Nikova red. If they hit any other target, it's going to be a white light, and they restart after that.
Right, and a white light is like a foul ball in baseball, whether they hit on the leg or the arm.
I always love your baseball commentary.
Both fencers are about 6 feet tall, very tall fencers, long distance.
I think it's interesting you say that, because I didn't realize how tall Deriglazova was until I stood next to her, and she was towering over me at 6 feet in the hotel lobby.
Fencers will go through a little feeling out stage at the beginning. They're in the middle of the strip, east. Deriglazova on the right likes to push her opponent down to their side of the piste. There you see an attack from the right from Deriglazova, which is parried or blocked by Koробei Nikova.
We've seen this a couple times from Deриглазова. She'll start about down sometimes, and she's not, it's something kind of usual for her, and then she'll bring it back and pull away.
And there's a beautiful attack from the left by Koробei Nikova, surprising Deриglazova, takes a 2-0 lead.
Again, as we said, while they were being introduced, these athletes being introduced, Deриglazova in their encounters has usually come out on top. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, she's won 3 World Cups this year, and she's the reigning Olympic champion.
But Koробei Nikova's on that magical mystery tour today. She's hot, and she's in the zone, and she's up 2-0. Now watch the attack from the left. The attack is not determined by the footwork, but rather by the hand, the point, threatening the opponent's valid target. Watch the hand, not the feet.
There's the off-target light we talked about. They'll just reset.
Watch Deриglazova on the right. She likes to begin her attack by taking her opponent's blade, by beating the blade. That gives her the right of way. Beat, attack, there it is.
Jeff, explain right of way for the audience maybe that are watching and not sure.
Again, the right of way is determined if you beat your opponent's blade. Watch on the right, Deриglazova. Watch this now. She's going to beat right there and make the attack. It's the threatening of your blade and your point at your opponent's valid target. That's what determines the right of way. There you again, you see Deриglazova preparing her attack by beating Koробei Nikova's blade.
I know you said, Jeff, to watch the blade, and that was a nice parry post from Deриglazova, but I really like to watch her footwork. I mean, that's where she has mastery.
No question that you earn the touch by beating your opponent with the footwork. The same as a boxer in the distance. It's all about the footwork. But for what determines the right of way, it's not the footwork, it's the hand. And a lot of times people watch the fencing, they see one fencer moving forward and
Here
doesn't.
She's making that nice parry riposte. Sorry to interrupt you. Oh, parry riposte.
And the riposte was to the flank under the arm of Koробei Nikova. Tremendous touch by Deриglazova.
I don't think people realize when the glove is off how often fencers tape their hands. I used to tape my hands because you get calluses from holding the weapon and the rubbing against the knuckles.
For sure.
Did you tape your hand, Jeff?
I tape my hand, I tape my feet.
At the end, you just tape everything.
Right. Deриglazova pushing. With the beat, likes to take the blade. Beat.
That was still Koробei Nikova's right of way, off target.
She parried or blocked it and made her riposte, which is the new action.
Foil's the only weapon of the 3, saber and epee being the other 2, that has the off-target light.
That's correct.
And there, that's a good one.
Koробei Nikova takes the lead 3-2. She's going toe-to-toe with Deриglazova.
Well, we've seen this before in Deriglazova's other bouts, where she'll go toe-to-toe or she'll be behind.
And then when you get to the end of the bout, she sort of takes the lead. She's almost like she's playing rope-a-dope and waiting. Deriglazova's attack from the right was parried by Koробeinikova. Made the riposte off target, the white light.
Deриglazova ties it up 3-3 in the first round with 1:30 left. And there's a start and stop clock. In foil, there's a start and stop clock. 3 3-minute periods of start and stop clock with 1 minute break in between.
And there you see Koробeinikova on the left starts the attack. Her point is threatening the target, and she scored. 4-3 lead. You hear the referee say attack non-volat means off target.
All the reffing is done in French. How was your French, Jeff?
It was okay until the coaches started arguing with me.
Deриglazova now in the lead, or in the tied now.
Riposte from the left, off target.
Before, when Deриglazova was fencing, we talked about this sort of call and answer, this back and forth. I'll do something, present a problem, and then the next time the opponent causes a problem. There's this back and forth and back and forth.
And so far we're seeing a back and forth here. Koробeinikova now hit off target in the attack. Watch on the left, she hits off target. Deриglazova just makes a counterattack. She did not have the right of way. And she's done that twice. She got hit once, that was off target. I don't look for her to continue doing that action because it's not working.
So she's taken the lead at 5-4 for the first time this bout. Deриglazova pulls away further, 6-4.
The attack from the left was either short or parried by Deриglazova, who made the riposte or new attack. Referee says attack au fer, that means attack on the blade, which gave Deриglazova the right of way.
It was a nice attack from Koробeinikova, not her super long attack, but a nice coming forward, finishing her action.
Deриglazova is sitting back here a little bit. I look for her to maybe launch an attack from the right.
Definitely time is on her side. Oh, there she is. She listened to you, Jeff, and she launched a nice attack, 7-5.
I think she's got a transmitter in her mask. She's hearing the broadcast. Look at that long
Amazing.
lunge.
She's so powerful. Her legs are so strong.
She doesn't do it all the time, which makes it very special. She picks her spots. If she did that all the time, the fencer would adjust to it.
So those are hard ones, Jeff. And
Deриglazova there makes a little signal like a video screen saying, I want a replay on that. The referee Kaler said Deriglazova's first attack from the right was short or stopped, which gave the right away to Koробeinikova. And so we'll see what happens on the replay here.
those are the close ones where that video replay really helps the referee.
It's really true. Once with the video replay, you get most of the calls right. Let's watch on the right here. Deриglazova. Referee says first stop, or her foot was moving but not her arm. And here comes referee Kaler. She's coming back.
And sometimes when you see the arm kind of hesitate, you feel like they're hesitating.
Attack stop, attack touche.
Referee stays with the original call.
Deриglazova, at this point, she loses a video call.
And she has
video replay.
One left.
That was an intense flurry of action.
This time, Deриglazova started the long attack, but Koробeinikova stepped back out of the way.
This is one of those great clean foil bouts that you haven't ever watched fencing before because there's not a whole lot of off targets. Both of them have great point control. They're both very strong fencers.
And even though they're both trying their best, there's a certain degree of emotion that you don't see when you have a bout between teammates, or countrymen. Very often, you don't see them yelling and screaming on every touch.
Well, I haven't seen Deriglazova really been that, emotive on the piece. That's part of it, is that she's like glass.
Attack from the left is parried, and the riposte is good. Beautiful touch by Deriglazova. Keeps beautiful distance.
There's that footwork we talk about for Deriglazova.
Well, Deriglazova just stalking her opponent there with a very slow advance. Her arm is moving forward and lulled Coробei to sleep.
And we've been seeing, Jeff, everyone fencing to the last, till the time runs out. And that hasn't been the case for fencing for a while. Nice parry post from Coробei.
What we were seeing with fencing is that with 5, 10, 15 seconds left, the fencers would step back, salute, say, okay, let's go to the break. But the International Fencing Federation said that's not what we're about, so the fencers have to fence till the end.
That's the end of the first round. Deriglazova has taken away by 3-point lead, 10-7. What you'll notice is that there are no coaches in the box for teammates. That's kind of a rule for all the countries. If you have two countrymen, or women in this case, fencing each other, that the coaches allow the fencers to just fence each other.
Otherwise, it would be a horrible situation because you'd have all these battles within friends from the country.
So now that we've seen Deriglazova sort of take over in the first period, what do you think Coробei should be doing at this moment?
Well, one thing is for sure, she can't make any more counterattacks in the middle of the piece. I would look for her to push a little bit more. Maybe second intention. Second intention means push Deriglazova, try to draw her out, and then maybe make a parry riposte. That's what I look for in the second period.
Well, let's see if she's listening to you. So now we're in the first semifinal bout of women's foil at the Anaheim Grand Prix. Deriglazova, a very dominant fencer, won 3 World Cups already this season, hasn't won a Grand Prix yet, into the second round against her teammate, Coробei.
Well, there's the counterattack by Coробei on the left. I don't think she should be relying on that action too much more because Deriglazova will hit her in the attack.
We saw earlier Walczyk, one of the Polish fencers, fence Deriglazova very well and come close to beating her by keeping the distance very close with simple actions and just making the footwork close and then executing on simple and direct actions.
Easier said than done against the world #1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you say it's easier in the box, right?
Deriglazova has an excellent timing. Like just then she threw out a counterattack. Usually it's a dangerous move. Your opponent can hit you, but she has a very good feel for the timing in that.
A lot of people often compare her to the great Valentina Vitsali, who's probably one of the greatest foil fencers or fencers of all time, who was so dominant. And Deriglazova is very similar. I mean, in many ways, not that they fence similarly, but they just don't make any mistakes, and that's what makes them so dominant.
And it wears your opponent down when you don't make any mistakes.
Right? You have to work for it.
Right. You have to work for every touch.
There's no give-me's, and there's no real mistakes that Deriglazova is going to make, so you're going to have to really work to create those mistakes to happen.
Deriglazova stalking and pushing. Look for her to take the blade and make the attack.
She gets in close and tries 3 times to hit, and then finally with the parry post. I mean, she rarely hits off target, I feel like.
Yeah, that wasn't the most beautiful action. Here's the attack, parry.
There's a hit,
miss,
miss,
and then finally the hit. but it goes in the books as if it was the most beautiful touch of the day.
Pulling herself more in the lead
Un gap.
by 4 points.
Prête. Allez. Out. Attaque offert. Touche. Point.
Referee says attack fair, beat attack by Deriglazova. Once she grabs your blade and makes the attack, she's money.
At this point, I haven't seen anyone yet be able to make up touches on Deriglazova very successfully, at least today.
Un gap. Prête. Allez. Out. Attaque barrage. Face touche.
What a beautiful touch by Deriglazova.
So again, continuing to widen the gap against her teammate, Koробei Nikova.
Prête. Allez.
Deriglazova's distance
Out. Attaque non.
is impeccable.
Contre-attaque touche.
It's just, I mean, it's a little bit easy now, I think.
She's got
Un gap.
great handwork, great footwork, but her distance is special. And that might be the difference why she is #1 in the world.
Out. Remise non volable. Un gap. Prête. Allez. Out. Attaque non volable. Un gap. Prête. Allez.
Deриglazova only 1 point away from the finals here at the Anaheim Grand Prix.
Attaque non volable.
She's so close.
Un gap. Prête. Allez. Out. Attaque non. Contre-attaque
Beautiful
touche.
counterattack.
Point.
Ina Deриglazova, a 15-7 victory over her teammate. That is a classic Ina Deриglazova match. Very clean, very nicely done. She is into the finals, and we will be up next with our second semi-final bout. Here's the last touch, Jeff.
And you see Deриglazova just made a counterattack and stepped back, causing Koробei Nikova to fall short. See that? Again, an example of her excellent distance.
She's like, for me, Deриglazova never really shows a ton of emotion. She really is a great competitor.
Another day at the office for Deриglazova.
That's a good way to put it. Another day at the office, most definitely. She's looking forward to that Grand Prix gold. She's not there yet. She still has one more bout left. Up next, we have Korean fencer Jun Hee-suk, who's the current silver medalist at the Asian Zonal Championships, and of course the superstar Alice Volpi from Italy, who is the current world champion, and she won the first Grand Prix of the season on the home turf in Torino, Italy.